We live in a world where distraction is not an accident. It is designed. Every notification, every endless feed, every little red badge on your screen is carefully engineered to pull your attention away from the one thing that could actually change your life-focused work. And the strange part is that most of us know this, but we still fall into the trap. The truth is that focus today is not just a productivity skill. It is a form of resistance. It is a decision to protect your mind in a world that constantly tries to rent it. Think about this for a moment. Every time you lose focus, something else is deciding what your mind should care about. A random video, a trending argument, a notification that feels urgent but actually means nothing 5 minutes later. Your attention is one of the most valuable resources you have, but most people give it away without even realizing it. The ancient Stoic philosophers understood something powerful long before smartphones existed. They believed that the quality of your life depends on the quality of your attention. What you focus on becomes your reality. If your attention is scattered, your life becomes scattered too. But if your attention is directed, intentional, and calm, your life starts to move in a clear direction. This is where the idea of deep work begins. Deep work is the ability to focus without distraction on something meaningful. It is the mental state where time disappears and your mind becomes fully engaged in what you are doing. Athletes experience it. Artists experience it. Writers, scientists, and creators experience it. It is not just productivity. It is one of the most satisfying feelings a human being can experience. The problem is that modern life constantly pulls us out of that state before we can even enter it. Imagine trying to read a powerful book, but someone taps you on the shoulder every 2 minutes. That is what constant notifications do to your brain. Your mind never gets a chance to sink into depth, and depth is where real progress lives. But here is the hopeful part. Focus is not something you either have or do not have. It is something you train, just like a muscle. At first, it feels uncomfortable. Your brain has been trained to expect constant stimulation. Silence feels strange. Boredom feels uncomfortable. But boredom is not the enemy. Boredom is actually the doorway to deeper thinking. When you remove constant digital stimulation, something interesting begins to happen. Your mind slows down. Your thoughts become clearer. Ideas start appearing from places you did not even know existed. This is why digital detox is becoming more important than ever. A digital detox does not mean throwing your phone away or living in a cabin in the woods. It simply means creating intentional moments where your attention belongs to you again. Maybe it is 1 hour a day where your phone is completely out of reach. Maybe it is a walk without headphones. Maybe it is the first hour of your morning spent thinking, reading, writing, or building something meaningful before the noise of the world enters your mind. These small boundaries create space for focus to grow. And here is the surprising part: life becomes more enjoyable when you are focused. When you are fully present in a conversation, you feel more connected. When you're deeply engaged in work, you feel more satisfied. When you give your full attention to a hobby, it becomes more fun. Focus is not about becoming serious all the time. It is about becoming present. Think of attention like sunlight. When it is scattered, it barely warms anything. But when it is concentrated, it becomes powerful enough to start a fire. Your goals, your creativity, and your personal growth all depend on that fire. But the world will not protect your focus for you. You have to choose it. And that choice begins with something simple: noticing where your attention goes every day. Because once you become aware of your distractions, you gain the power to change them. And that is where the real transformation begins. Once you start paying attention to where your focus goes, each day something fascinating happens. You begin to see patterns. You notice that many distractions are not actually important. They just feel urgent in the moment. A message that could wait. A video that adds nothing to your life. A random curiosity that pulls you down a rabbit hole for an hour. And suddenly you realize something powerful. Most distractions are invitations. They only control you if you accept them. This is where attention control becomes a life skill. Instead of reacting to everything around you, you start deciding what deserves your energy. And that shift changes everything. Think of your mind like a garden. If you leave it completely open, weeds will grow everywhere. Notifications, endless scrolling, constant noise. But when you intentionally choose what enters that garden, something different begins to grow. Ideas, clarity, creativity, and surprisingly, peace. Many people believe that focus means forcing yourself to work harder and harder. But the deeper truth is that focus is about working with your mind, not against it. Your brain actually loves meaningful challenges. When you sit down to do something that truly matters and you remove distractions, your mind slowly settles into a rhythm. At first, it might resist. It might look for excuses to check your phone or open another tab. That is normal. Your brain has been trained by years of instant stimulation. But if you stay with the task just a little longer than usual, something interesting happens. Your mind begins to lock in. Thoughts become smoother. Ideas start connecting. Time begins to move differently. You enter what many people call the flow state. And flow is where your best work lives. But there is another side to this story that many productivity discussions ignore. Life is not meant to be serious all the time. Focus is powerful, but balance is just as important. Even the most disciplined thinkers understood the importance of rest, curiosity, and playfulness. When your mind is constantly under pressure, it becomes rigid. Creativity disappears. Motivation fades. That is why the healthiest form of focus includes rhythm. Deep work, followed by real rest. Focused effort, followed by curiosity and exploration. Think about children for a moment. When they play, they are completely immersed in the moment. Their attention is pure. They are not half playing while checking notifications every minute. They are fully there. And strangely, that is exactly the same state that great thinkers, creators, and innovators enter when they're doing meaningful work. The secret is not to force focus like a machine. The secret is to care deeply about what you are doing. When something matters to you, focus becomes easier. So instead of only asking, how do I avoid distractions? A better question might be, what is worth focusing on in my life? Because when you discover work ideas or goals that genuinely excite you, attention stops feeling like a battle. It becomes a natural direction. And remember, you do not have to master this overnight. In a world designed to fragment your attention, even small improvements are powerful. 1 hour of real focus a day can change your trajectory over time. One intentional break from digital noise can reset your thinking. One moment of choosing depth over distraction can strengthen the mental muscle that most people never train. Focus is not about perfection. It is about returning your attention to what matters again and again. And each time you do that, you reclaim a little more control over your life. So here's a small challenge for you. Tomorrow, choose one moment where you deliberately protect your focus. Put your phone away. Remove distractions. Give your full attention to something meaningful for just a short period of time. Then notice how it feels. You might be surprised by how calm, powerful, and satisfying real focus can be. And now I'm curious about you. What is the biggest distraction in your life right now? And what helps you stay focused when the world keeps pulling your attention in 100 directions? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments. Your story might inspire someone else who is trying to take back control of their attention too.